Have you ever woke up and wondered what was wrong with you? You knew you wanted to be elsewhere, that there was more to life than the life you were living, more than the bills you were paying, the job you were keeping. Look to the horizon, to the sunsets. Your answer is there. Put your feet on the ground and take a deep breath and step into the nomadic lifestyle. You will not regret it. Hi everybody. Yeah, a little lost voice there. First of all, I want to say that if I look high, I'm not. I probably worked a graveyard last night. I know in one of my other videos, it was all I could do to keep my eyes open while filming. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I'd like to welcome my new subscribers, my old subscribers, and if you like my content, please like, subscribe, and share. An update on my son. His GoFundMe is listed down in the description. All I ask is that you would please share that on your social media. I'm not asking my subscribers to donate. I think one of my subscribers did donate, and one of my cousins donated, and Brent's GoFundMe sits at $150. Thank you. That means the world to me. But all that I ask is that you would simply continue to share Brent's GoFundMe on your Facebook, your Twitter, and what other social media you have. I know if we get the word out there, that we might be able to help him. He desperately needs help. I'm going to give you a little update on my son. He did get approved for state health medical. And that's our subject today. Anyway, if you can see him on camera, I don't know. Remember, I can't see what I'm filming. Anyhow, my son Brent did get approved for state medical. He actually has a heart doctor appointment today at 4:30. This is Monday, the 21st of May. Happy Canadian Day to all my Canadian friends out there. Anyhow, today's subject is got to do with animal rescue and being a foster. Now, either before or after this video are some pictures of my new foster. His name is Cutter. Foster is with the Springer Spaniel Rescue Foundation. I think that's the name of the group I work with right now. And you know, I gotta say, guys, I've been fostering animals for a very long time. And with that being said, I've always been a firm believer in fosters and in animal rescue until recently. You know, I've really never been a foster failure, is what they're called. That's when you fall so in love with a dog that you don't want him to be fostered out. That's what happened with Cutter, of course. And, you know, when I signed on to the agreement with this rescue, I was told that not only would I be involved in picking his forever family, but that if it came down to it and I let him know within 3 weeks, I could indeed adopt him myself. Well, to my shock and horror and really hurt feelings, I told the lady that I wanted to adopt Cutter, that I was going to be a foster failure for the first time in my history of fostering. And you know, this woman said some really mean things. To her, a good home is a fenced yard. It's a family with children. It's in a high-class area. And you know, you guys, the way I feel about it, and she told me, just consider yourself a bread and breakfast for him. Well, if my bed and breakfast, I know, right? Oh God, it's one of those mornings and my feelings are so hurt. If my bed and breakfast isn't good enough for Cutter to live here permanently, then it's not good enough for him to be here temporarily. Because what this woman don't realize, or any other of these 501c3s that claim to be non-profit, is that it doesn't matter if you have a yard or not. It doesn't matter if there are kids involved or not. The dog, who he bonds with, where the comfort level is what's important. I'm going to give you a little history on Cutter, but I have to say that her remark that I'm not a proper home for Cutter is bullshit. Just saying. So if she runs across here, I want her to know that I don't believe that she's out for the animals, nor her little associate here in Arizona. Just saying. You know, Cutter is a full-blooded pedigree Springer Spaniel. He lived with a very rich family until just recently. The father of that family is known for getting rid of older dogs to get new puppies, and indeed has a new puppy on the way to replace Cutter. Now, they got this $3,000 dog for free. Not only did they get him for free, this dog is up to date on shots, doesn't need to be neutered, and has had all the medical, he's got a medical file this thick, guys, I kid you not. Cutter is an excellent dog. I don't know why they got rid of him. They said that he started to be aggressive toward their other dogs. I do see dog aggression, but I only see it in a way that he warns dogs not to approach us. If I'm walking Cutter and a dog comes in his sight, he'll growl. Has he chased after that dog? No. Not only that, he is cat aggressive. But most dogs are. You know, they just are. Now, what most people don't understand is, yeah, there are a lot of people out there that are good homes that don't have a yard, a fenced yard. And what that simply means is we have to spend more personal time with that animal. We have to walk that animal 2-4 times a day. We have to exercise that animal. I walk Cutter 2 miles a day. Cutter goes to work with me. And swing shifting graveyard with Cutter is very easy because we pretty much have the place to ourselves. So the lady really hurt my feelings, you guys, when she said that I wasn't a proper home for Cutter. So I want everybody to pray. Pray hard, you guys, that nobody wants this dog and that they can't give him away. I've been a foster for in Nevada for the Animal Foundation there. I've fostered puppies, sick puppies. I've fostered other sick dogs. For the Animal Foundation in Arizona, I was a foster for sick animals. They would come into my house, I would nurse them back to health, and then they would take them back and adopt them out. I never got to be a process to see who adopted the puppies or the dog that I had nursed back to health. That's why I was so excited about this rescue. Is I was, according to the paperwork I signed, I'm supposed to have first pick at Cutter, and not only that, I'm supposed to be a part of the adoption process. In other words, they have to be okay through me too. I don't see that happening. I see this group as more money motivated than anything. And you know, when I think about the other fosters, they too were money motivated. The other rescues. You know, they go to the animal shelters, they get the free purebreds. That's why we're stuck with pit bulls. And I love pit bulls, don't get me wrong. But that's why you only find pit bulls and chihuahuas in rescue centers, in animal shelters, is because these rescue groups come in, take the high dollar dogs for free, have a foster for free, paying for food and everything else, and then they turn around and sell the dog for a profit. Now, how this factors into nonprofit, yeah, you got me. But with that being said, my very first fostering job was in the life fostering. I had a total of 4 dogs, and I was like a hospice. One of my dogs lasted a month and a half, but one lasted 9 months. I took the dogs into my home. I loved them. I cared for them. I played with them. I walked them. I gave them the best life possible the last days of their life. And then when the vet would say that it was time, they would put the dog down and I would go home alone. And finally, a friend of mine, a childhood friend, said, "You can't do that anymore, Tammy. It's tearing you up." And that's when I moved into regular fostering. But you know, you guys, I have to say that I understand that since they think Cutter is dog aggressive, and he is, and cat aggressive, that they won't be able to bring another dog here for me to foster if I own Cutter. But what they don't know is if they take Cutter from my home, I'm not going to be fostering for them anymore anyway. Just saying. You know, again, I've been a foster for 8-9 years. If you look way back at the beginning of my channel, you'll see some of the dogs that I fostered. It breaks my heart that after so many years of being a foster that I found a dog that bonded with me and I bonded with him. Now they're telling me that my home isn't good enough. So with further ado, I don't want anyone to be detoured from being a foster parent, but make sure that you ask that association, look, if something happens and I bond with this dog, do I get first picks, is what it is. And if they say no, you don't want to work for that organization because they do not have the dog's best interest in mind. This dog was ripped from a family he had been with since he was a puppy. He spent 3.5, almost 4 years with this family. Through no fault of Cutter, he was given up by this family and sent to a Springer Spaniel rescue. Now, in his first 4 days, this company that claims to be animal caring had him at a dog setter and had him locked away in a boarding for 2 days because the lady was too lazy to bring him out to my house. So on top of everything, I laid and held Cutter for the first 10 hours, and he just cried. And I mean, he cried like that cry, guys. You know, so I advocate being a foster. I advocate helping animals because they were sent to us by God. You know, a friend of mine said, Tammy, if you spell dog backwards, it's God. And they give us unconditional love. You know, it is a joy. It is a joy to see a dog finally come to a home that's going to be perfect for him. But as a person who has fostered dogs for 8 years, I know, without a doubt, that my home is the best home for Cutter. So anyway, I would like you to keep me and Cutter in your prayers. Pray that nobody be willing to take on a dog who's going to pretty much have to live in a backyard all the rest of his life. Because he is dog aggressive, he's cat aggressive, and the fact is he's not real fond of men. Just saying. He has the best life he could have right here with me as an only dog and with a female owner, and we have this place to ourselves. And if I'm not here, guys, I'm going to be out boondocking. He's going to be all alone anyway. Just saying. So that's my thing. There's going to be 2 videos. I was at the dog park with Cutter last night, throwing a ball. I finally decided to record some of it toward the end, so you'll see the second pitch. He was already tired. But there's also a video of the day that I got him, and I explain a little bit about fostering and being part of a rescue. Again, rescues are not always on the up and up. There's some that will have a dog placed and be on Facebook begging for money to place a dog. I've seen that happen. I actually, when I left Vegas, I promised myself I wouldn't get into fostering again, and I did. So pray for me, Cutter. I'd like to thank you all for watching. It means the world to me. And my next video is actually going to be on how to set up solar. I've had one of my subscribers ask me, now guys, I'm going to tell you straight out, this girl sets her solar up independent of the house. Just saying. I do that for one reason, well, 2. One reason is that I can pull my solar panels out anywhere I want and still park in the shade. And with an inverter, you can plug in your 110, you can plug in USB, you can plug in cigarette lighters. Because if you get the proper inverter, then you have plugs and outlets on it. This pulling directly off your solar, off your battery. So I'm going to try and do a diagram, and I'm going to try to find the video that was the easiest for me to understand, set up last year, and I will be linking it in that video's description. I'm going to do the best that I can. And again, I want you to know I do not tie my solar in with my house at this time. For the simple fact, it's just easier for me and it's faster for me. And it's also cheaper for me. Anyway, I want you guys to remember to love yourselves, because if you don't love you, nobody's going to love you. That's just a fact. And you know what? Maybe this week I'll make a video on why my end statement is so important to me. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day. Remember to love yourself. Go out and do something good for yourself. Do something good for an animal. But be careful, because your heart can get broken. Anyway, Cutter comes from a very rich family that actually shows springers and cockers. He's a good boy. Yeah, hi Cutter. Hi Cutter. He is male. He's neutered, fixed. He walks on a leash. Just a minute, Cutter. And he lets you know when he wants to go potty, obviously. So if you guys will hold on, let me get Cutter. On a leash and outside, I'll come back to you. So, as I was saying, Cutter is from the Spaniel Rescue, Springer Spaniel Rescue here in Vegas. Hey Cutter, let's go for a walk. I've only had him for about a half hour. They figure he'll be in my care 3 weeks to a month. And then I'll be having an open house for another Springer. I have fostered everything from Chihuahuas to Poodles to mixed breeds. Come on. I have never fostered Spaniels. I hear they're a loyal breed. I hear they're a family breed, well-behaved breed, an expensive breed, and very smart. They're a bird dog, kind of like your Labs and your Goldens. We've already walked a couple times. He pottied. I fed him. He needs a grooming. So I'm going to wash him, and the lady who's head of the Arizona Spaniel Rescue will come over and groom him next week. I'm not, they say that he's animal aggressive. Come on, let's go. I don't know that. I'm here to assess him and find out what his tolerances are, and they're not. Come on, let's go. Come on, Cutter. Cutter is comes from a family of I think 2 kids, 2 dogs. The other 2 dogs are cockers, smaller dogs. Those are show dogs. Not that Cutter couldn't have been a show dog. Cutter was gotten as the kids' dog. Good boy, Cutter. Good boy. And with that being said, Cutter had issues with the cocker, the show cocker, and so his family decided to rehome him through the rescue. Brother Cutter will be going to work with me. I'll be spending actually some really quality time getting to know Cutter, his habits, his likes, his dislikes, because that's part of a job of being a foster, you guys. Being a foster isn't just taking in sick animals or abandoned animals or animals that have been abused. Fostering is getting to know the dog, that when a prospective parent comes along, you'll know that if it's a good mix. Because when you're rescuing dogs, no matter if they're purebreds, like Cutter, or they're mutts, finding a dog that fits a family or people is very important. You know, as puppies, we can train them up to be whatever we want. Let's go. Come on. And as puppies, they get adapted to our families and our personalities. So when it comes to rehoming, adopting out an older dog, it depends on the fit with the family compared to the family they had. So during this time, me and Cutter will get to know each other. But Cutter is not obviously going to potty, so me and Cutter are going to go back in the house. Come on, Cutter. And you go, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, I know, right? My house seems rather small for such a big dog. Hi, Cutter. Handsome boy. Look at that face, you guys. Right? I advocate fostering animals. Like Cutter, many times. Hold on, guys. Let me try and get this door shut. Oh, come on, door. You can do it. Yeah, that's what happens when you try to do it one-handed. But I've advocated fosters because, like Cutter, most dogs are given up, home dumped for no reason of their own. Not saying that there aren't dogs out there who are behavioral issues. And with older dogs, those are hard to break, guys. That's why you got to find a home that they get along in. Habits that match. So anyway, I would like you all to meet Cutter. He's my new foster. Beautiful dog. Beautiful dog. He's been with the same family his whole life. This week's been a rough week on Cutter. He's had to spend, after being taken from his parents' house, his family's house, Cutter had to spend a night with a babysitter, a pet sitter. Then he had to spend 2 nights in a dog kennel until he got here. I didn't want that to happen because I think that through no fault of his own, he's already been, he's confused, bless his heart. So guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to spend some quality time just loving up Cutter and getting to know him. I do work tonight. Cutter will be accompanying me to work, helping me lock up, and just enjoying life. Anyway, peace. Remember to love yourself, because if you don't love you, ain't nobody gonna love you. Bye-bye. Here we go. Here we go. Good boy, Cutter. Bring it here, buddy. Come on. Good boy, Cutter Buns. Good boy. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Yes, good boy, Cutter Buns. Good boy. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Oh, tired now, are ya? What a pretty boy.